Oh, I know I'm gonna disappoint or even piss off some people with this video, but I have to make this. So we got a new Transformers movie coming out this summer, Transformers The Last Night, which is once again directed by Michael Bay. And rather than going into the movie with a bad attitude, expecting to hate it, walking out hating it, getting on camera to tell you how much I hate it, and then making a top 10 list of the worst movies of the year where it tops number 1, I'm not gonna see this. No, screw that. I'm not going to see this movie in the theater. When I reviewed Transformers Age of Extinction a couple of years ago, I said that I'm not seeing the next Transformers movie if Michael Bay does return. And even if they hire a new director, if it's a movie set within the same continuity of Transformers, then I'm not seeing it. So I figured to make this video to really explain why I'm not going to see it. And in order for me to really explain that, I have to voice my opinions on the last few movies in this series. So, first up with Transformers from 2007. Holy crap, it's been 10 years of bullshit. Oh god, oh my god. Okay, back on track. This first Transformers movie, it's not good. I remember liking it back when it first came out when I was 16 years old. And rewatching it, it's not good at all. It's a bad movie, but it's tolerable. It has some good things in it, like the stuff with Shia LaBeouf is actually kind of funny, and Shia LaBeouf is pretty good in the role. But any scene involving the Transformers, no matter how good they are, is so ridiculous and so silly. And it's funny because all the stuff with Shia LaBeouf is intentionally silly. All the stuff with the Transformers is serious, but because the dialogue is so abysmal, you can't take it seriously at all. That's weird. Siri just turned on for a bit. I don't know why. But anyway, it's a mixed bag. And also the action scenes are not very well done. Everything's shot up close. You can't even really tell what's going on with these Transformers scenes. Although I will give them credit that there is a set number of Transformers. They don't pull Transformers out of their asses throughout the movie, and Transformers just don't pop up without any explanation. They actually give some explanations, and they set up these Transformers, so I'll give them credit, but overall, not good. It has some fine moments to it, but I don't recommend this movie at all. Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, on the other hand, is my Vietnam. I still wake up in cold sweat after having nightmares about seeing this movie in the theater. I can still smell the popcorn that I ate. I still remember that I had Sour Patch Kids. I can still feel the brain freeze from the icy that I drank. I still cringe every time I have to relive the fact that I saw this in the theater. But in all seriousness, though, it's hard for me to say what my absolute favorite movie of all time is, but it's really easy to point out what my least favorite movie of all time. And ever since I saw Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, that has always been my nemesis film. The one movie that, even if I think about it, even if I hear the title, or even in other Transformers things, if they have something that even makes me remotely think about this movie, I shudder. I hate this movie to the core, and I will continue to carry that hate to my grave. 2.5 hours of a plotless movie. 90% of the movie follows Shia LaBeouf. Horrible comedy. The supposed main character, Optimus Prime, dies 50 minutes in the movie and doesn't come back until the last 5 minutes. Robot testicles for what reason other than Michael Bay is a child. And then Skids and Mudflap. If you thought that Jar Jar Binks and Watto in Phantom Menace were offensive, they are nothing compared to Skids and Mudflap. Basically, they're these two Autobots that talk in Ebonics. One of them has a gold tooth. They both fist bump. They look like apes. And on top of all of that, they can't read. This super intelligent race of transforming robots can't fucking read. And these are the Transformers that we spend most of the movie with. As I said, Optimus Prime dies 50 minutes into the movie, and the rest of the movie, when it's not focusing on Shia LaBeouf and we actually get Transformers, it's focused on these two living abortions. I could spend 3 hours ranting about this movie and picking apart every little single fucking detail that is wrong with it. But I'm not going to do that. Maybe one day I'll make that video, but I'll end my summary of this movie with these two thoughts. It's a movie so bad that I can't pull myself to say, oh, if you like this movie, hey, that's fine. Go form your own opinion. Go like the movie. It's yours. No, screw that. If you like Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, don't ever talk to me about movies again, because your opinion will always be invalid because you like Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. That's how much I hate this movie. And the last thing I'll say is that decades from now, I just imagine that when I'm in the old folks' home, I'm going to have a nurse that really hates my guts. She's going to find a Blu-ray copy or whatever the next thing is in the future of Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, play it on the TV, hide the remote, handcuff my arms and legs to the chair, and then just walk off. And I'll be like, no! For some reason, that's how I imagine leaving this world, watching Transformers Revenge of the Fallen against my own will. So let's move on to Transformers Dark of the Moon. Michael Bay was not sure if he was going to come back for this third movie, which we were all hoping, please God, don't come back. But sure enough, Paramount wrote another check and he came back. But throughout the whole promotional tour, even before the movie came out, he and Shia LaBeouf kept saying that Transformers 2 was crap. There was a writer's strike going on that made that movie as bad as it was, even though many years later we'd find out that that's not true. And they kept saying that this is going to be the good Transformers movie. This will be the best Transformers movie you've ever seen when it comes to live-action Transformers movies. Transformers Dark of the Moon might actually be the best one. And it's still a piece of shit. In all seriousness, though, I think Transformers, the first one, is a more well-made movie. It's a more tolerable movie and not as offensive as the sequels. But the Transformers scenes suck, and you really can't see the action all that well. In this movie, the Transformers scenes are actually pretty damn good. The effects are phenomenal. The fight scene in Chicago looks good. And the action scenes are actually filmed in a way where, yeah, you can see what's going on. But you have to sit through 2 hours of bullshit before getting to that point. And with those first 2 hours, it's almost as bad as the second movie. Okay, maybe not that bad, but it's still painful to watch. The comedy in it is still horrible, absolutely horrible. And there was no writer's strike that interfered. So when you watch the first 2 hours of this movie, you're like, okay, so you said the writer's strike was your excuse for why the second one was so bad. What's your excuse for this one? And then while the action scenes in the final battle are kind of amusing, it has 2 things that really piss me off. One, Shockwave, who was built up to be the main villain of the movie, ends up being a Decepticon that just pops up out of nowhere with no explanation, and he gets killed after being blinded by a fucking parachute. And then the very end of the movie completely betrays the character of Optimus Prime, where he's suddenly a cold-blooded killer without mercy. Something that would evolve in the fourth movie. So I guess, yeah, the Transformers scenes in this one are better, but it's still a piece of shit. It's still absolutely fucking terrible. The only reason why it's not the worst movie of 2011 is because Jack and Jill exists. And that's all I'll say. Maybe one day I'll review the first 3 live-action Transformers movies, just so I can really go into more detail about them, but that's my quick summary of the first 3. The fourth one I've already reviewed on this channel, so I won't say much outside of just a brief summary. 2 hours and 45 minutes. Mark Wahlberg and the relationship he has with his daughter is terrible. Mark Wahlberg, in a way, is worse than Shia LaBeouf. Optimus Prime is completely mishandled. He's killing people, which the Autobots don't do. He frees the Dinobots only to enslave them. He stabs a Transformer in the back and then immediately after that says, "Honor," till the end. Even though there's nothing honorable about stabbing someone in the back. And just out of nowhere, he's able to fly like Iron Man with these rocket boots. And then this movie has the nerve. It has the audacity to set up a sequel. And you're just like, fuck you. No, you didn't. So you can check out my review from 2014 if you want more of an opinion. Now, with this Transformers movie, the trailers look the same as the past Transformers movies. It's, once again, being directed by Michael Bay. And with him saying that this is going to be his last Transformers movie. And it's important that I mention that because it very much reflects something that we've already heard 2 times before. After Transformers 3, Michael Bay said that that would be his last Transformers movie. Then he came back for Transformers 4, where he said that that was going to be his last Transformers movie. And now he's back for Transformers 5, where once again he said that this would be his last Transformers movie. So if he said that statement 2 times before this statement, Why should we believe him now? Why would we believe that he would even say, I'm done with Transformers movies? He's gonna come back for a sixth one. Everyone's gonna pay billions of dollars to see a sixth one. They're gonna pay billions of fucking dollars to see this movie. I don't understand why. Every movie that comes out, they say it's gonna be the good one. And every time, it's the same dumb shit that we've seen in every fucking Transformers movie ever made. So, what's the point? I don't get paid to review movies on YouTube. I spend my own money to go see most of these movies. Some of these I do get invited to press screenings for, but most of the time I'm spending my own money. So if I know that I'm gonna hate this new Transformers movie, why would I give them my money? Just to come back, say, yeah, it was a piece of shit, I was right. So why would I do that? So I do apologize for anyone who's disappointed that I won't be reviewing Transformers The Last Night. But you gotta understand where I'm coming from. This franchise for 10 years has hurt me in more ways than I could possibly imagine when it comes to a movie. I can't do it anymore, so I think instead of seeing Transformers The Last Night, I'm just gonna go see Wonder Woman again, because I've been dying to see it again, I just haven't had the time to see it. So that's how I'll be spending this weekend, going to see a movie that I really love. And I'll even post a video on Friday that's sort of a makeup for not seeing Transformers The Last Night. So I've already said what that was in my 2,000 subscribers video, but just in case you didn't see that video, we'll just keep it as a mystery. And until that time, I hope you enjoyed this, I guess you'd call it rant. You know what? I guess you call it a rant, a retrospective on the live action series, and an explanation on why I'm not going to go see this new movie. Leave a comment down below and tell me if you're gonna go see Transformers The Last Night, or what your thoughts on the live action series as a whole are. And as always, this is the real Mr. Robinson telling you there's only one.